I'm June.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
I'm Cohen.
I'm Jobo.
And we are Klangstof. And this is Records in My Life.
We're here with the guys, as you heard from Klangstof. And guys, thanks very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit what you've been up to lately.
We've been on tour with the Flaming Lips now for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Me too.
And what about your latest album? Can you tell us a bit about that?
It's a great album called Close Eyes to Exit. It's about love, life, depression, Norway, Amsterdam, 14-year-old people, social media. Yeah, peace and love.
So tell us an album which you guys all bonded over when you decided to form the band, with something you were all grooving on.
I think like the only thing we really have in common as musicians is probably like Radiohead, like every other musician in the world, I would say. But I think Kid A is like the record that all of us really, really like. It has kind of this, it's maybe more electronic than we are, but I kind of like it because it's electronic, but it also feels very human still. And that's something I always try to do as well when I make music, to not get too much digital, urbanized, but always try to keep the kind of realness to the music. And that's really hard when you make electronic beats.
Sure. Is there an album which you learned to play on? I mean, aside from electronic music, what album inspired you to start? Either you learned to play with or inspired you to start playing music?
Oh, that's embarrassing. Like
that's a typical response.
Sure. Like, I think like the first album that really got me into like drumming along too, was maybe the Toxicity album of System of a Down.
That actually came up recently.
Yeah, but that is like I still think that's a really good album. Yeah, so I really wanted to learn all the licks from that. So that's what got me into like band music, I guess. Yeah.
So I have to say, I'm also kind of ashamed of it, but I have to say it must be something like Linkin Park.
Yes,
yeah. You're out.
That's another one. That's another one.
No go.
Yeah, Hybrid Theory. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it was like the first album I really, really loved. Yeah.
Okay, enough of that stuff.
Yep. Sorry.
Well, I was always into EDM music until I was maybe 14 or 15 years old. So, and they didn't release any albums because they're just singles. So I would actually say, "Okay, Computer." Yes, that's that's not embarrassing.
We know who's the person who's not being very honest in this band.
Yeah. No, for me, growing up, like Nirvana was the one that really got me into music at all. And I guess like I really love the first record, but the second one is obviously
Bleached.
Yeah, Bleached.
Yeah, okay.
But Nevermind is a classic one too, though.
At my best when asleep, I haven't got what you're looking for. I haven't got what you need.
Let's flash forward to today. What do you give us an album we should be digging?
It's not that new, but a band called Kent, which is like the bass player of Grizzly Bear, and he made a really cool record a few years back called Dreams Come True, and that's really maybe my favorite record ever. It's really kind of lo-fi, also very dark and moody. A lot of old Yamaha synthesizers, which is always nice because they sound crap, and when you record it, it sounds crap still. That's amazing. So I would say that one. Linkin Park for once.
I really lost some friend points here.
I know. He can't let go of that Linkin Park. Well, he was born to the soundtrack of Radiohead, right? It's like, so,
Okay, so music from now. I was really happy when the Feist album came out. Yeah, I really loved that one. The new Feist, Pleasure.
Little props to Canada.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's continue. What album should be part of everybody's collection?
Four and More by Miles Davis. Yeah, it's like, I think it was recorded in '64, and it has Tony Williams on the drums and Herbie Hancock on the piano.
Wow.
And it's so crazy. Like, Tony Williams was only, I think he was 17 years old when he played with Miles Davis band. Wow. And that record is insane. Like, he just takes charge of the whole band. He's like 17 years old and playing with his old dudes, and like they start off like pretty mellow on So What, and then he comes in like, no, this is the tempo. We're gonna play this fast. I'm the drummer. Yeah.
Brazen.
Yeah.
So my all-time favorite is Linkin. What? No, my all-time favorite record is probably In Rainbows from Radiohead. So I hope this gives me enough friend points to make up for the Linkin Park one. Okay. Whew. Yeah. No. Like every new Radiohead record also always takes a little bit of time for me to like really get the songs and really get the sound they're going for. And I just remember like the moment, in Dutch we say the coin dropped, like the moment it hit me, how good the record was. We were like camping in Sweden. I just had it on speaker and I was listening, and I was like, okay, yes, this is like the best record ever. And that feeling never faded. So that's my favorite record of all time.
That's a great feeling. Yeah.
So many people love it.
I've always been a really big fan of Deerhoof, and I think they should have been big, like really big. And their album Offend Maggie is one of my favorite albums ever. It has like every guitar lick on that record is like the most catchiest thing you'll ever hear. But they just play it so, I don't know, you can really hear when they are actually playing it compared to if any other band is playing it. It just sounds like they're playing a different instrument. When he plays guitar, it doesn't sound like a guitar anymore. It sounds really like his own thing, and I think that's really, really special about that record. Yeah, and I think Freshborn is on that record, right?
Freshborn?
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's the best song ever.
Is it Greg Saunier that's the guitar player? Or?
That's the drummer.
That's the drummer?
He's sick.
Yeah,
He's pretty...
He has a two-piece drum kit.
Yeah.
It sounds like, it sounds so massive. It's like he's everywhere.
Yeah, and he's also kind of the live shows. He's just got like the director of the live shows. Like he does all the talking, and he also tempo-wise, he does so many weird things. Like sometimes he just waits for half a minute, and all of a sudden he comes in with the weird riff, and he just hopes that the rest of the band is going to be there as well. Yeah. It's sick to watch.
Yeah. Yes.
Your record, bro.
Your question was about like what should be in a collection. Yeah, I think Sigur Ros's Untitled one is pretty. It's not essential necessary, but I think it's a really good record to have. Like what I like about records is when it's like a whole piece, and I think that one is a really good. Like you'll put it on and get sucked into the whole record. I think it's beautiful.
Terrific. Well, I'd really like to compliment you guys before I thank you for some great albums, which I actually love too. Not to say, I mean, the show's not about me, but a lot of those records I really love. And a lot of times I'm just like,